President Lai Ching-te says he is going to bring controversial legislative reforms passed by lawmakers to the Constitutional Court. Now, these reforms had been pushed by Taiwan's opposition-led legislature, and they've triggered widespread protests over fears that the country's democracy could be under threat. Louise is following this story for us from Taipei. Louise, what has Lai said?
Eric, Lai has stressed today that he's not against reform of the legislature, but he says that these amendments, which expand lawmakers' powers, are unconstitutional. Now, he did sign the amendments into law, as he's required to do by the Constitution, but he also says he's going to ask the Constitutional Court to review them. Now, this comes after the legislature on Friday voted to go ahead with the amendments, despite the cabinet asking them to review them. This is what Lai said about the amendments.
立法院这次修法，除了在审议程序引起社会高度疑虑，相关规定更对宪法的权力分立和制衡原则造成危害风险。
Now, the new powers would include giving lawmakers the right to summon people, not just government officials, not just the president even, but anyone, to provide information that they request. And if they don't, or they fail to provide information satisfactory to the lawmakers, they could be fined or even face prison. Now, the opposition says that these changes are necessary to allow for better government oversight and to help combat corruption. But the ruling party, that's President Lai's party, says this is an overreach of power, and actually these reforms will help the legislature. It will basically give the legislature powers that are reserved for other branches of Taiwan's government. So Lai's party has been opposing these reforms, but they've been powerless to stop them because they don't have a majority in the legislature. And Lai says he's making this move today, taking it to the Constitutional Court, not because of politics, but because he views the amendments as unconstitutional.
Louise, how soon can we expect to see this case actually reach the Constitutional Court? And has there been any reaction from the opposition to Lai's announcement?
It could take some time to get a ruling from the Constitutional Court, and that's why President Lai today has also said he will be seeking a temporary injunction on the amendments. That means the reforms will be stayed until there's a ruling. Now, as for reaction, a legislator from the main opposition, KMT, Fu Kun-chi, he expressed anger at Lai's move, and he asked reporters, has Taiwan become an imperial system with an authoritarian government? And the other opposition party that's been driving through these reforms, the Taiwan People's Party, they've expressed regret today, and they say constitutional reform is needed, and it's what the public expect. Now, as I said, Lai said he doesn't oppose reforming the legislature. What he objects to is the expansion of power. And what's worried not just him and his party, but also tens of thousands of people who came out onto the streets to protest, is that these reforms were pushed through without the kind of debate, the time it takes to debate reforms before legislators normally pass laws.